Hey everybody, my name is Chris Marty from Marty Party Travel, and welcome to this video where we're going to discuss the 2023 Kalahari in Round Rock, Texas update. So Kalahari is a place that we've been going to since it opened. My family personally loves it there. We'll visit anywhere from 3 to 4 times a year. We live just south of there on 35, so it's about hour and a half away from us. And so we're excited to really have Kalahari in our backyard. I wanted to do this video because there's some great videos out there that tell you about the resort and what you can expect, and we'll cover a little bit of that in this video, but mainly want to highlight the 2023 updates. If you've been going before, I want to show you what's different, what you can expect, what's still kind of the same, and what's on the horizon. So we're excited. Let's jump right in. So for those of you who may not have stayed before, let's talk about a little bit about the history of the resort, what you can expect when you go there, and just kind of learn a little bit about it. So Kalahari itself in Round Rock opened in November 12th of 2020, so it's about 2 years and a couple months old at the time of filming of this video, so still fairly new. It's located in Round Rock, which is just north of Austin, so if you're looking at the map and not familiar, you're 20 minutes outside of Austin, maybe about a max of a 30-minute drive from the airport if you're flying in to visit Kalahari. So not too far in one of the suburbs of Austin. The Round Rock location itself is award-winning. A lot of different theme park magazines have viewed it as one of the best water parks in the world, and it has a jurisdiction of being the largest indoor water park in the continental United States. So having that in Texas is really exciting, and you don't want to miss it. Getting to the resort is easy. It's nestled between 2 highways, the Toll Road 130 on the outside of Austin and Highway 35. You can approach it from either way, and there's an exit that is on the main street that Kalahari's on. From either way that you're coming, it's the same street. So really easy to access to if you're driving. And like we mentioned, if you're flying in, just north of the airport, so not too far. So once you pull up to the resort itself, it's amazing. From the outside of the resort, you very quickly understand that it is an amazing African themed resort. They've got amazing animals out front. They've got their big Kalahari signature elephants in the front of the hotel, and you just pull up and it's this grand resort. So when you arrive, you have 2 options for parking. They have valet at the front, which now has electric car charging. That is a 2023 update, and we will put that in there. And you also have the self-park option. So there's a lot of different lots that are on the outside of the resort, both in the front and over by the convention center. Tons and tons of spaces for you to choose from. If you self-park, it's not that far. They have luggage carts that you're able to get so that if you have a couple bags, you and your family can haul them into the resort. So self-parking is not bad at all. And valet is a little bit pricey at $25 to $30 a day. So if you looked up the name of the hotel before this video, it's Kalahari Resorts and Conventions, meaning that they do have a full-size convention center on site, which again hosts all sorts of stuff. Local city of Round Rock has done some different award banquets there. A lot of companies are coming into town to have their holiday parties there, different work functions and things throughout the year. So it's a great location with a full-size convention center on site. The hotel size is a full-size hotel, so sometimes some of these resorts where you stay maybe only have 1 or 2 towers. This is a big 3-wing hotel with a bunch of different guest rooms, and what's really nice about the guest rooms here is they are large. Even the standard guest rooms are an incredible size compared to other resorts that we've stayed at as a family. These resorts fit 6 people standard. They have 2 queen-size beds and a couch that pulls out to sleep 2 more. So all the standard rooms here sleep 6. An interesting thing to note about this, though, is that when you look at the room rates online, the prices that are shown are for 4 people. If you add on a 5th or 6th member at the time of filming this video, it's a $50 increase per person for the water park access. So if a rate shows $199 for the night during a weeknight, but you have a family of 6, you're actually going to be paying $299 a night with that $50 surcharge for guests 5 and 6. So a little neat thing to know there. The resort itself, like every hotel, has its own resort pools that are actually only available for people that are resort guests. So even if you purchase a water park pass to go independently and you're not staying at the resort, you don't get access to the resort pools. Now, the resort pools are only open seasonally, so during the winter they are closed because they are outdoors, and they have a big update coming, which we'll cover later in this video for the 2023 update. But they're incredible. They're right behind the resort themselves, and you can see them from the main lobby once you walk in. At the hotel, they have several different dining options, but they feature 3 signature restaurants. One is themed Italian, the other is a Mexican-themed restaurant, and of course the top-notch steakhouse that they have on site. They also have a buffet that's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner as well. On the side of the resort that features dining, they do have a quick service pizza restaurant available that also serves gelato in the evenings, so it's a really great location. It's a little bit less expensive than some of the signature dining to get a quick meal on site, especially if you've been drinking all day and you don't want to drive. Lastly, on the right side of the resort, which is over by the signature dining options, you have Red's Piano Bar, which is open in the evenings, and it's an incredible live experience. They've got piano players in there every night, full service bar, and they're open pretty late, so it's a great experience. Of course, the guests here have to be 21 and older to enter the bar. Lastly, on this side of the resort, you have the spa that has an elevator right outside of Red's Piano Bar to go downstairs to the lower level where the spa is located. And then, of course, on the first floor as well, you have the gym. So they have a full-size exercise room in there with all sorts of different weight and equipment. So if you're on vacation and you're still wanting to stay active, lots of choices for you in the on-site gym. As you start making your way over to the left side of the resort, over towards the water park and the arcade, you'll notice that they have a full-service coffee location that's open in the mornings that serves Starbucks. It is open in lunches in the evenings as well, but it does close a little bit earlier than some of the other shops in the resort. Moving on past that, on the left side, you'll have a couple of different gift shops that are there where they sell some basic necessities, some snacks as well if you're wanting to have food for the room without having to go off-site. They do sell some basic goods, different medicines and things like that as well, and of course all your Kalahari merch. So those are located again on the left side of the resort as you're walking towards the water park. Right here as well, you'll have the Last Bite, which is the signature ice cream restaurant that they have here. They serve all sorts, and more than ice cream, truly. They serve all sorts of frozen desserts. They've got Bluebell ice cream for your Texans out there that love your Bluebell. We got it. They've got some candy apples. They've got all sorts of different little treats in the case. And they recently added, as one of the 2023 updates, a little gift shop there that they sell a couple different little goodies to go. They also have a pet treat center, which I thought was interesting as well. Maybe I missed something and it was food for people that it was called a pet dessert bar. I don't know, but it was weird to me because as far as I know, Kalahari is a non-pet hotel. So that was interesting for me. As you start leaving the main lobby and you start arriving almost to the arcade, one of the last things you'll see on the left side is this kind of little sandwich shop. Again, it's a little bit of quick service. We saw it open around lunchtime where they serve different soups and sandwiches, and it's a little bit to step up from what they serve in the water parks. If you're wanting something that's more than just the pizza and tenders in the water park, they have it here at this location at this sandwich shop, and it was very good. My wife ate there and she said the food was quality. One final gift shop before you reach the arcade on the left side. It's more of like an activity center. So they've got their version of Build-A-Bear where you can kind of pick up a stuffed animal and get it all stuffed up and make it your own. They also have different activities there throughout the day. They've got different posted times where they do different paintings, and I've seen them do tie-dye and all sorts of just great resort activities that you can go for an additional charge and do. So if you're burned out on the water park and the arcade, you have some extra activities that they offer at the center as well. All right, after finally walking through the lobby, you arrive at the wondrous sight of Foolerys Arcade. It's incredible. You arrive on the upper level. The water park and the arcade are featured at kind of a elevation drop, so it is a little bit of a lower level and you have to go down an escalator. But wow, when you get here, the views are incredible from the upper level of the arcade. You see the roller coaster going, you see all the rides going, you got people up on the action activity ropes course, and so much more to see. All the lights, all the sounds. It is truly a wonderland, especially if you are somebody that grew up spending a lot of time in arcades like I did. It is a sight to behold, so it's amazing. Foolerys itself is an incredible experience for families of all ages. They've got a little bit of everything, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about how these programs work and kind of what's offered. So the first thing that you should know is that they sell different packages when you're booking the rooms that include Foolerys to a point. So when you see that and you see the Foolerys package, what they're actually saying is that the activities and the rides that exist within Foolerys, those are what you get access to if you book ahead with one of the packages for your room. So all the different rides and activities that are in the arcade are what you're getting the complimentary access to with your room package if you specifically book the Fooling Around package. If you didn't book one of these packages, no worries. They do sell them individually there at the arcade, so you can get access to ride the rides, and they have different pricing depending on what type of package that you buy. So we'll post a photo here of kind of what's listed, and you can kind of choose what's right for you. Now, with that being said, of course, all the arcade games are separate. They run on a credit system. So here as well with these packages, you can either pick to get credits directly. They sell some bigger packages that include things like VR, some of the activities, the Foolerys wristbands, some included baseline tickets, and of course, lots and lots of credits to play your favorite games. When we go, we always book the big family package. It's about $199. It includes 1,000 tickets. When we go, so that we have a couple hours of playing arcade games with my daughter, we purchase a package that's listed for $199. It includes 1,000 credits and also 1,000 bonus tickets. So it's a really great package for her to have, you know, a little bit of a way of working towards some of your prizes, as well as having a lot of credits to use. If you're not a gamer, no worries. Once you purchase the wristband for the attractions, there's plenty to do. Features a ropes course, which is super fun. It actually has a little zip line at the top too, where you go over the air. So it's really, really adventurous, and it's great for kids of most ages. Awesome ropes course. One of the newer additions to the arcade, again in our 2023 update, is the mini golf course. This was technically here when we went last year in May, but it wasn't there when they opened, and the mini golf course is located under the ropes course. So neat addition if you haven't been in a couple years, and that's included with your wristband as well. They've got a maze mirror, They've got a dark ride with some VR that you can put on, so it's really exciting. They've got the little roller coaster that goes around, and if you sit in the front seat, you would do full vertical loops while you are going around. They've got one of those spinny drop coasters and a couple other rides for some of your younger audiences. So lots of different options included with the Foolerys wristbands. And if you purchase those wristbands either on site or you get them with the packages we were talking about earlier, they are valid for the duration of your stay. So you only need to purchase them one time. In the arcade is one of your other dining options called B-Lux. So B-Lux is a burger restaurant. They serve signature burgers. And one of our favorite things to get while we're at Kalahari is the milkshakes that they serve there as well. They also have a full service bar in there. One side of their restaurant is a little quick service if you're just wanting to eat the burgers in and out. They've got that. And then the left side is featuring actually a couple lanes for a bowling alley. So this is something you will need reservations for. You can check with the front counter there at B-Lux as soon as you come in to the left. That's where they take reservations for bowling and get a return time that works for you. They do have shoes, of course, on site for bowling. It's just like any other bowling alley. They've got your bowling shoes. So it's really, really great and really convenient, located right in the arcade, right outside of the water park. So that's a brief overview of Foolerys. They've got a bunch of different little games, of course, all sorts of different claw machines, grab machines. They've got different games that are really, really current. So it's not one of your arcades where you're featuring a little bit of more retro gaming. They've got games that are very, very modern and very much currently with the time. So it's a great experience. My daughter loves it, and constantly when we're there, it's, can we go to the arcade? Can we go to the arcade? So if you got a kid like that, you're gonna have a good time. Lastly, the main attraction and why you are coming to Kalahari more than likely in Round Rock is the water park. So again, largest indoor water park in the US, and you realize it as soon as you walk through it. Once you kind of leave the arcade, they have it themed where you're entering almost like a portal. You're leaving the outside world and entering this majestic water park, and it is incredible. So it's fully indoor, of course, and it's heated year round. So we actually travel to the water park. Most of the times that we go is when it's cold outside. We'll go a lot in the fall, early spring, and of course during the winter. We filmed this video in February, so it was pretty cold outside. I think it was 55 to 57. Of course, the water park, you didn't notice that at all. Your shorts, your t-shirt, and the best part, no sunscreen because you're indoors and you don't need it. Right when you walk into the water park, you understand just a grasp of how grand and amazing Kalahari is. You've got your towel stand located to the right as soon as you come in, where you can pick up your complimentary towels for the day. They do charge you if you lose your towel, so it's important that you make sure that you return those towels at the end of the day before you leave to go to your room. Do not walk out with them and walk with them to your room. They will not give you credit for them, and you will have a charge on your bill until you bring them back, so do not do that. The water park has something to do truly for most ages. They've got little areas that are great for kids as young as a couple months old, all the way up to your teenagers and of course your adults. So they truly have levels of slides and attractions and areas for everybody. When you come in, you'll notice, of course, one of the, I would say, middle-aged kid sections. So you're probably talking your 3 to 5-year-olds all the way up to, you know, maybe 10-year-olds. They've got that directly to the left, or they've got all sorts of twisting slides coming out of there. There's a big gorilla head that's dumping water spraying everywhere, and it's a big, big attraction right there. So one of the tips I'll give people in this video for seating is, depending on what your age audience is that you're traveling with, that's where you kind of want to set up camp. If you're traveling with somebody that wants to be kind of at that kid area, but maybe you got some older kids, sitting at the front chairs as soon as you come in is a great option for you, because you're able to kind of have a view of that kid section we were just talking about, and also see kids that are waiting in line for some of the big slides. The big slides are broken up into 2 different areas of the indoor water park, so you can't unfortunately have a view of both, really, unless you're sitting by the wave machine. But this is a really good view where you can kind of have a view of a little bit of everything. On the other side of the Zulu Grill, which is the quick service food option we'll discuss in a minute there, that's where you have your big wave pool, and they've got this big Jumbotron that's got music videos playing all day long. You have a view of the second large kind of slide cluster from there that has some of the most high thrill slides that are featured at Kalahari Round Rock there. You also have a view, of course, of the wave pool, and you can still see a little bit, depending on where you're sitting, of that kid area we were just talking about. If you sit here, one of the perks is that you are close to the 2 kid areas for the ages that are younger than that. They have a very, very young kid area that I would say is probably ideal for kids that are under 2. And then they have kind of a step up from there for your 2 to 5-year-olds in a little section as well that's next to that one. So 2 separate areas for your young ones. That's if they don't want to get trampled by maybe some of the more fast-moving kids that were located at that first kid area I was describing right when you come in. On the ride front, there's short of nothing to do. Again, no matter how old you are, there's a lot of slides and some big slides there. They've got, of course, your rocket slide where you go in, they close the door on you, and the floor drops out from underneath you. They've got a vertical free fall slide in there where it's not the instant drop, but you can slide yourself down and you're pretty much going straight down. Lots of different family raft slides where they've got anywhere from 2 to 4 riders on the 4-person tubes that can go down these huge slides. They've got your mat racing slides. They've got your traditional single inner tube slides. They've got your double tube inner tube slides. They've got body slides. They've got it all. And of course, like we mentioned as well, they also have a flow rider, especially if you've cruised on Royal Caribbean, you've ever been to Schlitterbahn and New Braunfels. It's a true wave machine where you learn to surf with a little boogie board, and it's awesome. And it always has a line, so definitely wait in line there. So again, shortage of nothing to do in the water park. It's amazing. For all my parents out there that are needing something to take the edge off when you're chasing your kids around like me all day, they have a full service bar, actually 2 bars. They've got the Cracked Coconut, which is located out in the middle of all the action. So this is kind of in between all the different slides and the lazy river and everything that's going on out there. But they also have the Grotto. So the Grotto, you have to be over 18 or 21. You have to be over 21 to go into the Grotto. They do check ID. So if you look young, make sure you have it with you, even though it's a water park. They will give you a band once they verified your ID. And once I had my orange band, people stopped asking me. So just be aware. It's a lot more quiet in there, and they got it kind of covered. They built faux rocks where it's really a low light situation, and it is a great place to relax. And one of the best parts about the Grotto is the water is heated a little bit warmer there than the general water in the water park. So it's not as hot as the hot tubs, but it was a good in between the general water of the water park and the hot tub, to where it was comfortable enough that you could stay in there for long term, but it was not cold at all. One of the neat things about the Grotto as well is the Grotto has both a physical door if you're not in the water, and a water door if you are in the water, to go to an outside area that was open even though it was 57 degrees. The bar was not open out there, but the bar, of course, inside was. But it's a great outdoor area where it's this big heated pool, adults only, 21 and up, and it gives you a way to get outside the water park, have a little privacy, and be quiet if you're looking for a more relaxing corner of the resort. So even if you're not traveling with kids, there is a place for you to get away and relax and have a great time with your family. Lastly, of course, in the water park, no shortage of food. You've got the Zulu Grill in the middle, which features your fast food staples. You've got your pizzas, your hot dogs, your chicken tenders, and everything in between. They sell some great souvenir little coconuts and some of the Kalahari animals, which offer free refills for both soft drinks and ices. So those are complimentary for your whole stay as long as you purchase one of those reusable souvenir cups. And it's where we spend a lot of time eating our lunches. That's where my kids are there. They're wanting, the chicken tenders and pizza, and it's got a lot of great options. One of the recent additions as well is they actually just opened a smoothie bar. We're going to talk about that again. It's one of the 2023 updates where they have a smoothie bar right when you walk in that sells smoothies. And they also have another, used to be Dippin' Dots, but now has changed to another ice cream stand right when you come in at the beginning of the park. Finally, for those of you looking to host an event at the water park, or just wanting a little bit more premium, quieter seating option, there is a bunch of premium seating available in the water park. You have both Cabana rentals, where you can rent a private cabana that sits up to 12 people. Some of these cabanas actually feature a private whirlpool hot tub as well. So you have your own private hot tub that's not accessible by guests that are not part of your cabana reservation. So check that out. If you're still looking for premium seating, but maybe not wanting to spend as much as a private cabana charges, they do have these great high top tables with some cushioned chairs and umbrellas. They sell those as premium seating, and they're right along the lazy river. So you can reserve one of those, be right in the middle of all the action, close to the bar, and kind of have your own reserved space no matter how late you arrive. Some of the tables do tend to fill up pretty quickly in the morning, so having that reserved premium seating is a great option. Lastly, a lot of people don't know this, but there are a couple of bonus cabanas up top on top of the Zulu Grill, as well as some seats up there. So if you're ever wanting a seat and the ground floor is taken, you can head up the stairs at the Zulu Grill, and there always seems to be a little more seating up there than what people realize. All right, so finally, the main thing you've been waiting for, the 2023 updates. So we talked a lot about it. If you watch this video in its entirety, we sprinkled some of them in there earlier, but we'll go back through them just in case you skipped ahead to this part to talk about what's changing. So we'll start with the biggest and baddest guy first, which is the full outdoor expansion that they're doing of their resort pools. So the resort expansion is incredible. It's building this whole brand new area that's featuring 9 brand new slides into the pool. So that's amazing, because if you stayed before and you went to the resort pool, there were a couple little slides out there, but nothing like the indoor water park. These slides aren't anywhere near as big as the ones in the indoor water park based on the renderings that we're posting here on the video, but they do seem like they're going to provide some great thrills for people that are wanting to go to the outdoors, get some sun, and have something for the kids to do. One of the main expansions and one of the biggest things that they're doing out there is the over 900 foot long wave action lazy river. So again, for my people that have been to Schlitterbahn, you're familiar with this, and I'm sure some other theme parks across the US have this. This is a wave lazy river. So you do have your tubes, and parts of the lazy river are flat, but they have a giant wave making machine at some point in the lazy river that's going to make these big ripples and give you a lot of thrills. So this is not your relaxing lazy river. That's the one on the indoor park. But this outdoor lazy river, again, is over 900 feet and features wave action. Lastly, just like that cool adult area we were talking about earlier in the video, they are now building a brand new adult swim-up bar on the outside area as well, the resort area. So these resort pools are going to have a private space for your adults and that swim-up bar, so where you can keep going in the water. You don't have to get out and constantly dry off to go and get your drink on. You're able to stay in the water and have a great time with this new outdoor resort area. So that's the biggest expansion for 2023. They're forecasting that this thing will make the summer season. We posted a couple photos that we took out there, but it was pretty far back and hard to get some photos of the construction site without a drone. But they were definitely on track, and they will make summer of this year. So definitely make sure your reservation is after that's open if that's something you're wanting to experience. One of the biggest changes in the water park, which is noticeable as soon as you walk in, if you haven't been in the last couple months, is the addition of this smoothie bar. So there's a giant smoothie bar as soon as you walk in. They've got a couple different smoothie types out there. They sell the souvenir cups, but one of the big things I noticed is that this location originally there were tables there. This used to be a seating area, so they don't have running water at this location, meaning that they don't have fountain soda drinks out there. So they sell the reusable souvenir cups. I'm assuming that they're going to put your smoothies in there when you purchase them, and then you're able to clean them out and go inside and get the drinks for the rest of your stay. They don't have a soda machine out there, so all they're selling at this location is the smoothies that they're blending. They've got a couple snacks out there, and then they've got some bottled sodas in a cooler that they had behind the counter. One of the changes that you'll notice as well that's also right here at the smoothie location is they've gone away from Dippin' Dots. So they had Dippin' Dots, first party branded Dippin' Dots. They've gone to this off brand called Mini Melts, and they added a location right here next to the smoothie bar where you can get your Mini Melt on. You just got to wait in the line of the smoothie bar, and then you can get your Mini Melt fix and get your basically off brand Dippin' Dots. They were great. We ate them twice. We enjoyed them. Nothing to say. So this is necessarily not a 2023 update, but just a neat fact that I kind of ran into and noticed right away when I came back in 21 and 2022. If you went to Kalahari in Round Rock right when they opened, they actually had an even larger size of the souvenir drink cups than they have now. It was this giant mega Kalahari cup where you would drink this thing and you were having a great time for the rest of the day. And a neat fact, TABC, the Texas Board of Alcohol, actually came in and told Kalahari that they could not serve these cups, and they made them get rid of them. So if you happen to have one of these jumbo Kalahari cups, and if they serve them maybe at some of their other resorts still, that's pretty neat, but they do not offer them anymore at the Round Rock location. Stepping out of the water park and back into Foolerys, again, if you've been going in the last couple of years, I don't remember the name of this ride, but over by one of the exits, they had this big ride that had arms that would spin around while the ride was spinning. So you would sit in the arms 2x2, and you would kind of go up and swing down and spin around. I noticed in May that ride was not operating. When I was here in May of last year, it was not operating, but it was still there. And now it's gone all entirely together. So they did remove that ride. They're building something over there that looks like it could be a party room. I don't know what it is, but there is a new building that they've constructed over there. But they had brought in some additional machines and games to fill the space where this ride was. So Kalahari did lose a ride in Round Rock, and that ride was not replaced with something else at this time. One of the biggest additions you can't miss is one of those almost carnival-style pull-up bar games. So they've got it right in the main walkway on the way to the water park. You grab onto the pull-up bar, they start a timer, you hold on for as long as you can, and if you hold on long enough, they'll actually give you a free night stay at the resort. They have a little disclaimer on there that you can only win one coupon per year, so you can't just keep going over and over again, especially if you're really good at that thing. But we were watching people try that game all day long. And I believe that if you're under a certain age, you don't have to pay any credits to attempt. So I think that they were letting some of the younger kids try for free, but all the adults had to pay credits, which was 48 credits per attempt. So it's definitely not inexpensive. So make sure that you really are good at your pull-up bar game before you try and win that free night stay at the resort. Also, a semi-recent update. It was there in May, but it wasn't there before that. The mini golf, we mentioned it earlier. They added a cool little mini golf course underneath the ropes course. So if you went back there before, there was always like a little carousel place for really young kids. And right next to it, they added the mini golf. A lot of people don't seem to realize it's there. When I go into that corner, it's never too busy, but it is there, and it is included with your Foolerys wristbands. Lastly, in the arcade, before we step out all the way back at the front where the escape rooms are located, they've made some small tweaks to the space escape room if you've done that. Apparently, people struggled with the key puzzle that they used to have before, so they have removed the key puzzle, and I believe they replaced it with cards. When we were there this last time, we did the Western escape room as we had not done it before, so we were not able to experience the changes to the space escape room firsthand, but they did make that small tweak there. When you're walking back towards the lobby on your left, you're going to reach the Last Bite, which of course is the dessert center that was always there. Over the last couple years, they added the dividing line, forming the line that used to not be there, which of course is an older update. But one of the newest things that I noticed is they opened kind of like a semi gift shop on the left side, where they've got a little bit more candy to go and an actual package like stuffies. They had these stuffed animals that guarantee to smell good, like whatever they smell, for the next 2 years. And finally, the last update at the time of this video is the self-check-in kiosks. So they had a couple of these over the last couple of years. They weren't there when they opened, and then they started adding 1 or 2, but now they have a lot of them. So they have all these new brand new self-check-in kiosks where you don't have to wait in the long check-in line. I've seen that guest service line get pretty lengthy, so these kiosks are amazing. A lot of people don't realize that you can truly use these things to check in fully. They'll verify your ID, you'll scan it in, you'll put your card on file, and they will spit out activated wristbands for you along with your room number and the map. So these things are full service. You don't need to wait in the guest services line. If you see one of these kiosks open, just walk right up, start your check-in process, and rock and roll. All right, y'all, so that was our 2023 Kalahari update video. Again, this was filmed in February of 2023, so some of the updates, of course, are going to be ongoing, and that great outdoor resort expansion will be open by the summer of this year. So again, my name is Chris Marty from Marty Party Travel, where me and my family travel all over the world in the US, bringing you great experiences and saving you money while doing it. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel and like our videos for more.